Boston Bruins beat the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime on Saturday afternoon at TD Garden. I'm Conor Ryan of BostonSportsJournal.com, here to give you just a couple of takeaways from today's game. And I think when you look at a game like this for the Bruins, yes, you look at the optics of the Bruins having to once again go to overtime to beat a team, a game where they were up 3-1, Minnesota claws back, and view it as just kind of a game kind of cut from the same cloth as some of these other wins where the Bruins are in a controlling play, but letting the game kind of get away from them at times. But I think Jim Montgomery kind of said it best post game that all things considered, this is probably their most complete effort of the year. When you look at just the fact that at 5-on-5 play, Minnesota really didn't generate all that much. I think the Bruins had a 26-10 edge in scoring chances during 5-on-5 play. Testament to, I think, a defense that is still shorthanded, but is a lot more, I think, in sync than you saw earlier on this year. Granted, everything's going to look better after that Ottawa game, no doubt, but just seems like guys are settling into their roles a bit more. The addition of Grizzlick helps. Lindholm had a really strong game. I think Connor Clifton's been fantastic on that right side. It's kind of the only right shot guy in there for right now. Forbert did his job well in the PK. Like, you're just seeing up and down the lineup. The Bruins, I think, are falling into a bit of a rhythm here on defense, which is very encouraging to see. And then down the other end of the ice, once again, you're seeing more guys step up. You're looking at Nick Foligno, who has now surpassed his goal total from last year in just 6 games this season. He's been a completely different player. It's not just the fact that his production's been there, which is obviously the most important thing, but just the eye test, right? Like he's arriving on pucks quicker. He looks better, more engaged. It's one thing where I think we went into this season being skeptical of how much more gas he had left in the tank. And, he kept on saying, it's a clean start for me. I feel healthy. And, for us, we're like, okay, like everyone, it's the usual cliche answers you hear, right? In terms of a guy being healthy and what that kind of provides for a new season. But so far, Nick Foligno is proving me, and I think a whole bunch of people wrong in terms of he looks like a completely different player early on, really giving the Bruins a major boost there in that bottom 6 unit. So that's encouraging to see. Hampus Lindholm gets a goal off of a play that I think is exactly what Jim Montgomery wants to see from his defense in terms of reading the play, seeing an opportunity to step up, and then capitalizing on that chance. And then, again, as the Bruins have been helped out quite a bit this year by guys in the bottom 6 really contributing, they're once again, though, anchored by that skill in the top 6. When you need your best plays to make a play, the Bruins got that in overtime, right? You have a sequence where Patrice Bergeron keeps the puck in off of a clear attempt by Minnesota, feeds the puck back in. Taylor Hall gets the OT win off of a great pass from David Pastrnak. Just an impressive sequence all around, especially considering that David Pastrnak and Bergeron were up for that entire 4-on-3 sequence to end overtime. So it's just one of those ones where you look at the issues plaguing this team. Still, yes, there's still a few lapses you want to clear up. Obviously, moving forward, you want a guy like Jeremy Swayman to get into a bit of a rhythm, so you're not just riding Linus Ullmark for an extended stretch here in the early going. Power play is still an issue. Bruins scored one today, but it was that 4-on-3 sequence. 5-on-4 has still been an issue for this team. So, and that's something where I think once that power play starts clicking, it's going to make things even easier for this team in terms of putting an opponent away, giving yourself more breathing room and a bit of a cushion, midway through a game. So that's going to be huge for this team. But I think when you look at just the Bruins' defensive identity really starting to, fall in line now. Secondary scoring is still there. We've had plenty of times last few seasons where you'd have a good game or two from the Coyle line or a good game or two from the checking line. The fact you're seeing guys like Foligno start stringing these games together is very encouraging for this group. So it's working out there. Top 6 is, doing their expected damage. It's just one of those ones where you leave a game like this. And granted, I know Minnesota is kind of slumping out of the gate, but it's still a very, very good team. A win like this is one where I don't think Jim Montgomery had a whole lot of gripes afterwards in terms of what this team needs to improve on. If you play a game like this and you expect the power play to solve itself out in the coming weeks, you're in position of having a game plan down that you're going to pile on a lot of points here early on, which, again, even without McAvoy and Marchand, this team's playing at a very, very high level, and it should probably scare a lot of teams in the NHL once both those guys are back in the lineup. So we'll continue to have coverage from today's game and every game this season over at bostonsportsjournal.com. So please subscribe over at BSJ for all your daily game reports, features, Q&As, videos, all that good stuff. Thanks, guys.